Imagine that this is you. You're going for the ball with full confidence that you're gonna get it. But then, a guy surpasses you with ease, pushes you on the ground with even more ease, and gets the ball like nothing happened. This guy is Ronnie. Ronnie is such a well-rounded athlete that no matter what comes in his way, he's prepared to tackle all the challenges with his insane speed, strength, and endurance. And then, there is you. You are constantly asking yourself if you're even going to play today, or if you do play, you're not sure if you're even going to last more than 30 minutes. I used to be in the exact same position as you. Even though I always made the starting 11, I was never in shape to last more than 60 minutes on the field. I was never the fastest nor the strongest. I was skinny, I was easily pushed off the ball, and I constantly worried about what other people thought about. But once I took my performance seriously and learned these 5 principles I'm gonna share with you today, everything changed for me. The first principle is specificity. Put into simple terms, you need to be specific with the exercises you're going to pick for a certain workout because every single exercise targets a different area. For example, there is movement pattern specificity, there is metabolic specificity, there is mental specificity, which pretty much means how mentally prepared you are for a certain task. For example, if you've never participated in a football match, you don't know what to expect, you don't know how you're going to feel, hence why you're not mentally prepared for this task. You pretty much get the point. With this in mind, you need to specifically prepare for the tasks which you're going to encounter during your sport, that being mentally and physically. Does this mean that all training you do both on the field and in the gym should be sport specific? No. Not at all, because your general training supports your specific training. The second principle is progressive overload. And you might have heard this term a million times on the internet, but what does it actually mean? How can you use it? And most importantly, why is it important for athletes? Well, in order for your training to actually drive adaptations to your body and to your performance metrics, it needs to be significantly stimulating. Put into simple terms, this pretty much means that your training and the exercise you're going to pick have to be hard and challenging enough for you to actually make any progress. This doesn't only apply to your physical appearance and to building muscle, but it also applies to your performance as well, because there is this thing called adaptive resistance, which explained in broad terms or bro science is your body or your organism's ability to maintain homeostasis when faced with greater intensities and volumes of a specific stimulus. To better explain it, or to make it easier for you, the more time you spend under a certain load, the less adaptations you're going to encounter, because your body is able to adapt to that load, meaning that you need to progressively overload this exercise in order for you to see progress. A few ways to use progressive overload to your advantage are: first, to increase the reps or the sets, increase the intensity, which doesn't apply to all exercises, but could be considered. And the third one is to increase the weight you're going to use, which should be applied after you have already increased the sets and the reps of this specific exercise. For example, a way for you to progress a back squat, starting with, let's say, 50 kg or 60 kg for 6 reps, which would be your absolute maximum for this exercise, is to work your way up to around 8 or 9 reps with that exact weight before increasing the weight again to where you can again do no more than 6 reps. For some people, this might be adding 5 kg. For some people, this might mean adding 2.5 kg each side. Depends on the person and depends on the strength level, but generally when you increase the weight, you shouldn't go extremely high, but to where you can no longer do the exact same reps which you initially began with. The third thing which I want to talk about is no other than recover. In my experience, I've seen a lot of athletes who think that they can work every single day, push their limits every single day, and work with 100% intensity every single day, 7 days a week, which is not true. And most importantly, it's not possible. You need to be able to perform at 100% every single training. You need to give 100% every single training. So if you're training hard every single day, I highly doubt it that you're giving 100% every single day. Most of the days it's probably like 60 to 70, let's say 80%. Your body cannot adapt to what it cannot recover from. So rest is needed in order for you to actually make any meaningful progress. Prioritizing sleep, nutrition, and hydration are the 3 most important pillars of recovery, but there are also other things which you can do in order to help you a little bit and boost up your recovery. Like, for example, stretching, foam rolling, saunas, massages, cold showers, walking, which are all really good ways to speed up your recovery. But if the first 3 things are neglected, then you're just pretty much wasting your time with everything else. For nutrition, try to prioritize carbs before your workouts, carbs and protein after your workouts, mainly protein, of course, and track your calories if needed, because there are 2 things which are called caloric deficit and caloric surplus, which I'm more than certain that you've already heard 1,000 times. but they're a topic for a separate video. For hydration, try to drink at least 3.5 liters of water every single day. And if you're training, of course, this number will be higher. But just water itself is not enough, as it will not be properly absorbed to your body without salt. It doesn't have to be with the water itself, it can also be with food, but for every liter of water, try to consume 3 grams of salt every single day. Of course, there is also a lot of science behind all of this, and if you guys want me to cover it in a separate video, comment down below. The fourth principle is variation. With variation, I mean variation in the exercises you're going to do, of course. But why is it important, and what exactly is variation in your exercises? What is this Bulgarian guy talking about? Let's first go over what you can actually change or vary in your exercises. First of all is the exercise itself. Are you gonna do a back squat? Are you gonna do a hack squat? Are you gonna do a front squat? Are you gonna do a split squat? Just a variation of the exercise. The second thing is the load, the tempo, the sets and the reps of this specific exercise. They can also vary. The third thing is the progression of the exercise. How are you going to progress this exercise further may vary from exercise to exercise. The fourth is the frequency of your training. Are you training 2 times per week? Are you training 4 times per week? This of course will depend on the stages of the season. Are you in season? Are you in pre-season? Are you in off-season? Are you completely off? Are you on vacation? The volume of your training may also change, and the modality of your training. And why is it important? Well, we go back to the adaptation. When you do a certain exercise over and over and over and over again, your body will be already adapted to this specific movement or to this specific exercise. So in order for you to start moving forward with your performance, with your athleticism, you need to change it up so you can actually cover other areas of your performance as well, and not just this specific movement. This of course is highly individual, so here comes the fifth and the final principle, which is no other than individualization. I don't really have to explain this in great detail, but basically every athlete is different, and although what has worked for someone else can also work for you or will work for you, there are cases where you have to change things up according to your injury history, according to your position, according to what your goals actually are, and of course with your training experience with this type of training. And there are also so many other factors which are of course again highly individual. Again, you can still do what someone else is doing, you can completely copy them and still see results, but sometimes just a small tweak is needed if you actually want to progress forward and move forward with your performance. So if you want to become like our boy Ronnie, you need to learn how to use these principles into your own training schedule. This will not only ensure that you enhance your athletic abilities, but it will also help you in the long run with staying out of injury, learning how to properly structure your workouts so that you don't overtrain or lose progress, because I have also seen that. And of course, just have more fun in the gym and have more fun with training in general, because I know how boring training can get sometimes, and if you're not mentally prepared or excited to work out, you're just not going to enjoy it as much, because this is also really important for your future performance and for your future development as well. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.